Hello everyone, and welcome to Retro Brick Reviews, where today I'm going to be analyzing all 20 minifigures from the LEGO Movie 2, the second part, Collectable Minifigure series. This series officially releases February 1st, 2019, although they have actually started popping up other places and people already have these figures and are reviewing them, so it's probably a bit late for me to be doing an analysis video. I'd planned to get this out like 2 weeks ago, but I just never did. Sorry about that. I've been quite busy. Also lazy. So make of that what you will. Without any further ado, let's begin, not with the figures, but with the new bags, because if you can't tell from this one image, LEGO has changed how the bags are done for this series. Since, of course, as we all know, I probably don't have to describe to you what a LEGO collectible minifigure series blind bag looks like. LEGO used the same exact style from all the way back in Series 1 in 2010, up through the LEGO Harry Potter series in August of 2018. That's like 8 years of having those. Actually, wait a second. 9 years, actually. Blech. Yes, yeah, that's a good 9 years of having the same type of bag, and they changed it. Now these are the same type of foil packs as the Unikitty bags. They're of a weaker material, and the figures inside also come in a separate clear plastic bag inside of this bag. And the reason they did the change is because this series includes a Unikitty, which I don't know if it was the best idea. Kind of would have preferred if they just included a 20th actual minifigure instead of Unikitty, so we didn't have to have the change, since I'm not a big fan of the change. But anyway, enough time talking about the bags. Let's move into the actual series, which again is of 20 minifigures, and before we begin taking a look at them all individually, there is one thing I have to mention, because this series, like most licensed minifigure series, or, well, series that are just in general based off of, like, a movie or something, since technically this isn't licensed, aside from the Wizard of Oz figures, is, my opinion on reprinted parts in minifigure series. Basically, when a figure in a minifigure series comes with parts that are easily available in other sets. I think a good example of this would be in the first LEGO Movie minifigure series, the Hard Hat Emmett figure, which had a new face print and a new accessory that was the instructions, but he had torso and leg printing that was available in every LEGO Movie set, and also the hat-hair combo that was also in Benny's spaceship. Basically that's what I'm talking about. In my opinion, there are good reprints and bad reprints, both of which we see in this series. A good reprint is something like that, or, yeah, that's really the only good example I can think of at the moment. A figure that has reprinted parts, but does something unique with them, and is overall a different-looking figure. A bad reprint is something like Draco Malfoy from the LEGO Harry Potter series, or, well, basically like any figure from the LEGO Ninjago movie series, which was literally like half reprints, and that series was just the absolute worst. But anyway, a figure that doesn't really do anything new, and doesn't really look that good at all, like Draco Malfoy, who could have had mid-legs, but didn't, could have done something different with the torso, but didn't, could have had a different, more accurate face print, but didn't. A figure that is entirely pointless, and while we don't have any that are fully worthless in this series, we do have some that are kind of like that. But without any more further ado, let's actually start taking a look at each figure, starting with Awesome Remix Emmett, who, much like Hard Hat Emmett from the original movie series, I think is a very good minifigure, despite having some reprinted parts. Here, of course, being the torso and leg printing, which are the same prints that come with Emmett in every single set from the LEGO Movie 2. And yeah, I don't mind, because there's no reason LEGO could have done anything else, or, well, rather no reason they would have done anything else. That's grammatically correct, unlike the first thing, because Emmett is always wearing his normal construction fatigues, so it just wouldn't be accurate to change it up. So I don't mind. Plus, it's a good print to get, and I don't really mind getting extras of, since it's always nice to have some spare Emmets. Plus, it certainly helps that this guy is fantastic even besides that. He gets a new face print, which is double-sided. We have this super happy face that is kind of reminiscent of the one from Hard Hat Emmett, except now the teeth are closed. And he also gets one that's more of just like a very happy, genuine smile. Less excited like this and more just like really smiley. Good face print, although I can't show that one. Here, Emmett has this brand new hat-headphone combo piece, which looks fantastic. I love that. Probably one of my favorite pieces in the series. And for accessories, he gets the white coffee cup, which isn't new and has no printing, but I don't really mind that since it does work very well here. And in the movie, it doesn't actually, the coffee cups don't have any printing from what I've seen. And he also gets a print for a phone, which is nice. This is a really cool figure, and it's definitely one I'm going to try to get. An example of a battery print here is Battle Ready Lucy. I think that's what she's called. Yeah, Battle Ready Lucy, that's it. Just checked. But and yeah, first thing, let's talk about the good part of this figure, that new hood piece, which is something that from the first trailer we saw, and a lot of people thought, oh, that's going to be in the minifig series. I remember when I analyzed that trailer, I thought it was going to be in the minifigure series. And, well, folks, we were all right, and, yeah, it's a cool piece. You have the goggles molded in, you have the hood and the scarf are just a single mold this time. The scarf isn't a separate piece that goes around the neck. Yeah, that's a cool piece. The rest of this figure, though, is kind of disappointing, because the torso and legs are just the same that are on Warrior Lucy that comes in, like, the $30 Ultra Caddy set, and the house set, and the Sweet Mayhem set, and the truck set, and also a poly bag that's $4, the same price as this, and that would be bad enough, but still, it's kind of like Emmett. But then she also has the exact same face print from the sets, which is inexcusable because they could have done something different, but instead they just got lazy and gave us the exact same double-sided face print. I mean, I guess to be fair, it could have been worse, and they could have done what they did with the Ninjago movie series and just given us single-sided versions of normally double-sided heads, so at least they didn't do that. But yeah, and then she has a quiver, and her only accessory are bland binoculars. So, yeah. I mean, if you really want the hood, this is a good figure to get, but if you just want a Warrior Lucy, you can literally get this exact same figure in a poly bag. Which is definitely how I'll be getting Warrior Lucy, at least in the beginning. Although I will probably also get Ultra Caddy, I'm definitely going to get the Dream House, but probably won't even get that poly bag. What I'm saying is, if you want a Warrior Lucy, I would go with the poly bag with the Duplo Monster over this. Just my opinion, though. Another reprint is Apocalypseburg Benny, and so this guy, he has a new face print, which again is double-sided. This side is pretty angry, which is pretty cool, and the other side has him with, like, closed eyes and super happy. Basically the face print from the double-decker couch from the first LEGO movie, so good face print, but, then he's basically just Benny from the Metal Beard, or Trike set. So he has the same torso from the first LEGO movie, same helmet, same air tanks, plain blue legs, he has the robot arm that I think is really unaesthetic, and then he has a toolbox, which is nice, but that's only 2 new pieces for this figure. And I mean, to be fair, yeah, there isn't really anything you can do with Benny. It's like Emmett, but to an even greater extent, since you can't even, like, change the hairpiece or anything. So yeah, I understand this, but, like, honestly, I feel as though they probably shouldn't have even put Benny in the series if this was all they could do with him. They probably should have put a different supporting character in here, like maybe Batman, for example. Someone that they can do a variant for, because this is a bit lazy to me. It's still a good figure, but it's, like, if this came out for the first LEGO movie, I would be ecstatic, because back then, until the double-decker couch, Benny's cheapest set was $100, but here, Benny comes in the $10 Space Squad and the $20 Junior sets. There is not a huge demand for a Benny now. Or, well, more accurately, I guess, there is a demand, it's just more easily met. So, yeah, this figure is kind of just bleh for me. Moving on to a figure that is objectively better, but subjectively even worse. Here we have Giraffe Guy, and, Yeah, I'm generally not a huge fan of the suit guy figures, but I really don't like them when they're stuff we don't even have in LEGO yet, and we don't have a LEGO system giraffe. Unless you want to count those horrifying Jeffrey the Giraffe Toys R Us builds. Rest in peace, Jeffrey. So yeah, kinda would have liked to get like an actual giraffe before we got Giraffe Man. But I mean, I guess objectively this guy is pretty nice. He gets a new head mold for the giraffe, or well, a hat. Face print, which is alright. Believe it's double-sided. He comes with the Mandrake leaf piece from Harry Potter, which is, I guess, kind of cool to get. I mean, maybe they could have done it in, like, a different color, but, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. Then he has torso printing, he has arm printing, he has double molded legs with printing on the front and side, so I guess, like, that's nice, but the printing is very simple. So, like, I can see people liking this figure, but it's definitely not one I give two hoots about. I nearly did, because at first, the first time I saw this guy, I thought he had not double molded, I thought he had the mid legs from Lego Harry Potter, but double molded, but he doesn't. That was just sort of a trick of, I don't know why. I guess a weird camera angle. But yeah, so nothing really does it for me with this figure, but I can see why some might like it. And then we have another costume figure. Here we have Crayon Girl, who gets some nice double-molded boots, gets a kind of nice crayon headpiece with some flowers, and but then she gets a face print, which I believe is double-sided as well. And then that drawing that, I guess she made it with her head. I mean, like, I know that some people, like, Just Too Good have said that LEGO should have made a new crayon piece for her to hold, but, like, it wouldn't even, I honestly wouldn't have minded if they'd done something like just given us the lipstick piece in purple to represent, like, a crayon. Like, it wouldn't have been great, and I would have preferred to get a new mold, but, like, I would like at least just something to represent a crayon, because this is just kind of dumb to me. But, I mean, it's a nice print. Again, a figure that a lot of people might like. I just personally don't. And hey, I guess I have to give props to LEGO for at least making a new piece here, and not just doing what I honestly thought they were doing the first time I saw this figure in super blurry quality, where I honestly thought that they were just reusing the Rocket Boy headpiece from series 16, I want to say, that they also used last year for the fireworks guy. Glad that they didn't just reuse that, because that would have been beyond lazy. But yeah, this figure is still kind of bland. Moving on to a figure that is pretty awesome, here we have Miss Scratch-n-Post and Scarfield. Starting off with Miss Scratch-n-Post, first off, it's pretty cool to get some Apocalypseburg figures in the series, as a lot of the figures from the original movie series that are getting their Apocalypseburg versions were in the huge Welcome to Apocalypseburg set, so it's good to get some cheaper ones in this series. Miss Scratch-n-Post looks rightfully angry with some whiskers as war paint, I guess, and a headband. Really great printing on the torso, the arms, the legs, sides. In particular, I really like how on the belt you have the super ferocious cat. That's pretty cute in my opinion. But the figure, much like how with the original Miss Scratch-n-Post figure, the best part was the actual cat that came with her, that adorable little orange cat that I adore and that LEGO still uses, as in, like, they literally just used it this year for the cat in Captain Marvel. And here we have an edited version with a mohawk and a spiked collar and some bandages and its spiky teeth, and oh, it's so cute, I love it. I need to get this figure. This is another one I really want, just for that kitty. But Miss Scratch-n-Post herself is still a pretty cool figure. Next up here we have yeah, well, there are some figures here that I consider to be pretty lazy. I'd say Hula Lula is the objectively worst, because she has so many colors of green, and they all clash so badly. So, okay, she has lime green on the hair, spring green on the torso, normal green for, like, the negative space and the highlights on the torso, and then bright green for the fabric dress, and that is just too much. It's too much. And the hairpiece looks ugly with the swirl. Like, if it wasn't for the hairpiece, I could accept this figure. But it just put a different hairpiece on her and she wouldn't be the worst. But that hairpiece just ruins everything. She has a double-sided face print, but the faces are nearly identical. They're even closer than the Moria orcs in Lord of the Rings, and those had some really nearly identical faces, if you remember. In fact, if I remember correctly, because it's been years, but I'm pretty sure the Brick Show review of the Mines of Moria actually made the mistake of saying that the two faces on the orcs were the same, and it was just printed on both sides. Unfortunately, I can't check that because the Brick Show got their channel taken down and took no measures to even try to get it put back up. So we've just lost a decade's worth of LEGO content. Thanks, Brick Show. Well, I don't want to say just lost. It's been a year. But still, it's really annoying, even if I never liked the Brick Show anyway. But enough about that. I mean, the torso print's fine. Skirt's literally just the one from the old Hula Girl figure, but it's alright. Legs are fine. And then you have a print for a record, which is new. And then you have this magenta microphone, which appears on all 4 band members. Yeah, this set includes 4 band members. And, well, I mean, officially they're called band members. I like to think of them as K-pop musicians, and I don't know why. I actually don't know why. I don't even listen to K-pop. I just think K-pop is a thing that exists. Enough about that. So next here we have the Watermelon Guy, or as my edgy, epic Fortnite gamer little brother would say, the Watermelon Guy. And yeah, can't wait until the next unlicensed minifig series when LEGO uses this same piece for a pizza guy. Pizza time. But yeah, this guy gets an alternate face where he has shades. The watermelon piece is fine. He gets that watermelon print, which is a new print. I'm pretty sure the previous watermelons have had it on with red, and this has it in magenta, so that's new. And you do get an extra watermelon, which is nice. No torso printing. Leg printing is garbage. Yeah, another one of these guys. Thank God this is the last suited minifigure of the series, or else I would probably throw myself out a window. I mean, it wouldn't be too hard, since, I could just choose a first floor window, but anyway. Next up here we have the Swamp Creature, who is based off the Swamp Creature from the LEGO Monster Fighters line, and is actually supposed to be the same figure. This is just the Apocalypse version, and, yeah, you have the headpiece up top, which is nice. You have the face print underneath, which I think might be the exact same one from Monster Fighters. Torso print, though, looks kind of weird, because he has a six-pack, and it doesn't really look like that. In Monster Fighters, this guy was, super mossy and stuff. Here, he just has a green, scaly six-pack, and it looks strange. Also, overalls. The double-molded legs just exist, I don't really care about them. And the whip is the most bland accessory I've ever seen. I mean, okay, not literally, but, it's pretty disappointing. They could have done better. And that's really all I have to say about this guy. Next up here, we have our next K-pop musician, Candy Rapper, who is pretty cute. I'd say that she's easily my favorite of the 4 musicians. I really like the hot pink and white striping with the gold outline that really does make her look like a candy wrapper. I also love the tutu piece. I'm a big fan of that tutu, and I'm glad to see it again, especially with such an adorable little print. I love how there's the blush marks on her face. She just looks so cute. I think she has an alternate face where she's winking, but don't quote me on that. And she has this hairpiece that has some nice silver highlights and even a star printed in it. So that's pretty cool. Her accessories is again that magenta microphone and a little mixtape, which is pretty cute. Next figure is President Business, out golfing like a real president of the United States of America. Ha ha ha, topical humor. But anyway, yeah, this is the only way to get President Business in any of the LEGO Movie 2 sets. So this is a pretty good figure to get, in my opinion, and definitely one that's pretty high on my priority list for this series. Same hairpiece as before, double-sided face. We have this new, very happy one, and then we also have another one that looks very happy still, but a bit less sincere. That's just the same happy face from the double-decker couch set in 2015. Plaid shirt that looks great for golfing, double-molded legs with his golf shoes and socks, and the shorter, sort of hiked-up pants. Not hiked up. You know what I mean. He rolled it up. He rolled the pants up there. And he also gets a golf club. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. Next figure is Apocalypseburg Abraham Lincoln. Axe accessories bland. Forget what I said about the Swamp Man. This is actually the absolute worst. I lied. Hat piece is new, so they could put on the goggles. Completely unnecessary. They could have just printed those on, but I like that it's molded. Good bit of extra detailing. He gets a double-sided face, one where he's all angry like this, and the other one where he's more, like, smiling. And the torso and legs are just kind of bland to me. Nice arm printing, though. This guy's sort of in the middle for me. He's not one that I objectively don't like, but he's also not one that I like a lot. He's just kind of there. Next figure is another really good one, or well, not another. It's been a bit, but it's a good one. It's Cowboy Rex, also known as a Vest Friends Rex, or well, I think that was like the book. Don't know if this is called Vest Friends Rex. Not really sure what this guy's called. He's Rex Danger Vest, and he has the same torso print that Rex gets in the sets, which is kind of lame. And the Baby Dino Raptor also comes in the Movie Maker set, and the face print is a very similar one to one that comes in the Movie Maker set, but I think the alternate face is different. So yeah, but the big things with this guy are the legs, which are very nicely detailed, though kind of pointless to me. They just don't look that good. And then the hat piece, which you know how long I've been waiting for LEGO to do a cowboy hat hair combo piece? Since 2013, when LEGO released the Back to the Future DeLorean set. A set that didn't even include the Back to the Future 3 versions, but I wanted that. I love Back to the Future 3, even if it is objectively the worst of the trilogy, and objectively really dumb. I love it. It's a really cheesy, fun time. But yeah, I mean, would have been nice if the cowboy hat hadn't been in blue, so then we could actually use this anywhere besides here. But yeah, cool piece. Bit disappointed that back for the first LEGO movie, we never got the Emmett hat hair combo piece for the cowboy hat, but at least we get it for Rex now. Next figure is Kitty Pop, who is, yeah, it's Kitty Pop. Kind of bland to me. She introduces the new salmon color that is only, as if I'm correct, it's only on this figure and in the pop-up party bus set so far. And I might try to get this figure just to get a taste of that piece, as it's for the hair, the torso, and the upper part of the legs. Yeah, maybe. But aside from that, the figure isn't too interesting to me. I think the hairpiece is nice, but the colors are kind of pointless, and you're not really going to be able to do anything with that outside of this figure. The face print's existent, torso is fine, legs are fine. Cattail in white is pretty cute, actually. I like that you get the cattail. Then you get this nice leopard print guitar that I could see being used for some other stuff, and another microphone. Microphone, there. Gotta love it when I can't pronounce simple words. Then here we have, the worst thing about this series, Unikitty, because, like, LEGO changed the bags for this Unikitty, so you'd better hope it's a figure worth upending 9 years of LEGO minifigures, and, no. No, it's not. This is literally awful. The only printed part is the face, which is nearly identical to ones that have come before. In particular, the Comic-Con Cheery Kitty figure looks very similar to this, but this also looks a lot like the one from the original Cloud Cuckoo Palace from the first movie, just with a bit more shine in the eyes. Also, kind of looks like the Unikitty from the $10, the Sweetest Friend set, just with the eyes open. Yeah, so this is, and it also looks like the Dimensions one, except that one had a closed mouth. So, like, this doesn't really look very unique, and I'm really disappointed because, like, no eyebrow printing. This one even uses the old neck design that's worse than the new one, and, like, why? Why would they do that? So this is just disappointing. And the very last figure from the LEGO Movie 2 contains a mild spoiler, although it's really not that bad considering it's in the series, like Lego revealed it themselves, but if you don't want to know anything about the Lego Movie 2, then you probably shouldn't have even watched this video or learned anything about any of the sets. But I mean, just look away now. Or, well, like 20 seconds ago, actually. Sorry about that. But anyway, Flashback Lucy. Pretty cute figure. She has some nice blue and magenta double-molded legs, some bubbles printed all around. She gets another magenta microphone. I'm not going to talk about that other accessory, as I'm sure you can draw your own conclusions from that if you're still looking. And yeah, and she also has the existing wild-style hairpiece just redone in this nice lighter blue with all sorts of magenta streaks going throughout, which I think is pretty adorable. Also, we have this really cute face print that looks more sincere than the average Lucy face, and you would get an alternate face where she's singing. But moving away from the LEGO Movie 2 and into what I think is easily the best part of this blind bag series, we have the Wizard of Oz characters, starting with Dorothy Gale. Yeah, that's right, in 2019 you can just walk into your average Target supermarket and just buy a LEGO minifigure of Dorothy Gale from the 80-year-old movie The Wizard of Oz. What a time we live in. And this figure of Dorothy is pretty adorable. First off, there's that hairpiece that, while I feel maybe it could have framed the face a bit better, it looks a bit wide to me. I think she's very cute, and I love the braids coming down in the front. She gets an alternate face, one where she's smiling, and one that you see here where she's quite confused, which I think fits well. She has double-molded arms and this torso that's printed to show her kind of slim waist with the checked sort of plaidish overalls, and which go down into the skirt, which is a fabric piece. Underneath, she gets double-molded legs, which are completely unnecessary, but I like. So you have white underneath with the blue bottoms. And then, of course, you have the ruby slippers printed on. I'm glad that they are just printed and not, like, separate pieces like they were in Dimensions, because that was kind of dumb. Oh, and you also get Toto, who is just a recolor of the existing sort of dog show judge doggo piece. Cute stuff. Definitely going to try to get Dorothy. Going to try to get all the Wizard of Oz characters, because they're all great, and they're my 4 favorites of the series. Next up here we have the Cowardly Lion, who gets an accessory of the metal, which I know some people have said that they'd have preferred if it was a new piece, and honestly, I don't mind. I actually kind of prefer this, because it meant that we could get more detail, and it could be more accurate to the movie. Anyway, he comes with the existing cattail piece, but a new piece for the mane, which is pretty cute. He gets 2 faces, one where he's smiling, and then this one where he's frowning and worried, which I think is pretty good. Yeah, simple printing for just his fur on the torso and legs. Good stuff, great figure. Next up is the Scarecrow, who gets a new hat mold that is, I believe, double molded with the sort of orange ribbon up on top. You have this very good-looking face print that looks a lot like the actor who played the Scarecrow. Torso and legs are pretty simple, but pretty well done. Lots of patches and ropes and a bit of tear in the... or with some hay showing through. And you also... his accessory is the Certificate of Achievement that he got to, show that he had a brain, which was pretty cool. Well, I don't mean it was pretty cool. Of course it was. It was The Wizard of Oz. It was 80 years ago. Just having a moving picture back then was pretty cool. But yeah, it's pretty cool to get that as an accessory is what I mean. Last figure of the series is the Tin Woodman, who, first off, I just want to admire how fantastic this guy is, because he gets a new mold for his hat. He gets a fantastic face print. He gets that collar piece, which you actually get 2 extras of. Not 1, but 2 spare. So you get a total of 3 of those silver collar pieces, which is a new color. Torso and leg printing, which is fantastic. You have printing on the front, printing on the sides, printing on the back of the torso. You have normal silver on the face and torso. You have a bright silver printed to represent sort of shininess. You have dark gray to represent rust. It's very good. And then for accessories, he gets two. He has the axe piece recolored into silver, and then he has the new heart piece with a clock printed on it. And you also get an extra of that printed heart piece, which is another fantastic thing to get an extra of. So yeah, this is another figure I'm going to get, and that is the last figure of the series. So to quickly go back through, Tin Woodman is fantastic, Scarecrow is fantastic, Cowardly Lion is fantastic, Dorothy Gale is fantastic, Flashback Lucy is pretty good, Unikitty is very disappointing, Kitty Pop is mediocre, Rex is, I'd say, a bit above average, Abraham Lincoln is mediocre, President Business is pretty great, Candy Wrapper is good, Swamp Monster is kind of bad, Watermelon Guy is bad, Hula Lula is the absolute worst thing since Quidditch Draco Malfoy, who, and, I mean, neither of them are as bad as, like, the Lightning Jet from the Lego Ninjago movie, but, I mean, nothing is as bad as the Lightning Jet, so I suppose not. Yeah, whatever, don't know what I'm saying. Miss Scratch and Boast is pretty great. Crayon Girl is mediocre. Giraffe Guy is mediocre. Benny is unfortunate. Lucy is disappointing. And Emmett is, what's the word? Oh, right. Awesome.